They braved the Alaskan wilderness, hunted for food, and built shelters from scratch. But behind the cameras, the Brown family from Alaskan Bush People faced storms no one saw coming. Since the reality TV show's debut in 2014, they've battled cancer, devastating fires, heartbreaking divorces, and tragic loss. But in true Bush People fashion, they also built new paths like launching businesses, raising families, and reinventing themselves far from the forest. So, what happened after the cameras stopped rolling? And where are they now in 2025? Join us as we uncover what became of the Alaskan Bush People cast. Billy Brown. Main character of Alaskan Bush People was Billy Brown, a husband and father of all 7 children. He was born on December 3, 1952, in Fort Worth, Texas. Tragedy struck in his life early by age 16 when he lost both parents and his sister in a plane crash. Homeless and orphaned, Billy was forced to fend for himself. And it's with these experiences that he became more independent and picked up survival skills. Later, he married Amy Martin, who was just 15 when they began their life together. And over the years, they built their family of 7 children. In 2014, Discovery Channel brought the Browns into millions of homes with Alaskan Bush People. Billy emerged as the show's charismatic leader and was a strong advocate for self-reliance. He taught his children to build shelters, fish, hunt, and all the tips for off-grid living. Although Billy's interest in wilderness life was impressive, it also took a toll on his health. He battled chronic respiratory problems and heart issues, and this eventually affected his health condition. Tragically, on February 7, 2021, Billy suffered a fatal seizure at their Washington homestead and passed away at 68. His sudden death sent shockwaves through his family and fans alike, bringing an end to the series. After Billy's passing, Alaskan Bush People weren't the same again. It was hard to continue, so by season 14, which aired in 2022, the focus was on the children who attempted to carry their father's vision as a family. The series quietly ended, with the last season often seen by fans as an unofficial finale. But what happened to his wife, Amy? Amy Brown was the next important character in Alaskan Bush People, Billy's wife and the mother of 7 children. She was born on August 28, 1963, and became the steadfast matriarch of the Brown family. In April 2017, she was diagnosed with stage 3 non-small cell lung cancer and given just a 3% survival chance. All her children were worried about her survival chances, but she went through intensive chemotherapy and radiation, and then made a remarkable recovery. By December of the same year, she was declared cancer-free. It was after this that their family relocated from remote Alaska to Washington state for better medical care. Over the years, Amy's calm demeanor and resilience became an important part of the show's dynamic. She often offered emotional support and guidance, and was the family's voice of reason whenever they dealt with health scares and estate troubles. In mid-February 2025, Amy was rushed to the ER after experiencing severe chest pain and breathing issues. She was medevaced to a larger hospital, intubated, and placed into a medically induced coma to treat pneumonia. According to Snowbird and Bear Brown, her lungs are in poor condition. By late February, Bear reported that Amy had improved and he had been moved out of the ICU. Soon, Bear shared a video of Amy at home with her children nearby and oxygen in place as she recovered. After Billy passed away, Amy was the one managing the family estate. She's been involved in a $500,000 lawsuit from a business partner and overseen assets, including livestock and collectibles. She has also been chasing after independence too, making achievements like earning a driver's permit. Along the way, she has supported her children, starting with Matt Brown. Matt Brown. Matt Brown is widely known as the eldest Brown sibling and seemed to be stable during the show's run, but he eventually struggled with alcohol addiction. This caused him to exit the show in 2019, and he went on to enter rehab, where he began his recovery journey. Between 2018 and 2020, Matt faced serious challenges. He publicly shared accusations of on-set drug use and financial misuse by family production, and alleged that Billy withheld money from him. Also in 2018, he was accused by 2 women, and while these claims were investigated by LAPD, it was not prosecuted. Matt has recently been residing in North Cascades, near the family's former property in Washington state, living in a more grounded, rural lifestyle. He works on a farm, practices beekeeping, hiking, drawing, and other creative hobbies. At times, he spends isolated stints, camping on Chapaka Mountain, or wintering in rugged wilderness, sharing survival tips and reflections through his YouTube channel. Matt has also become a strong advocate for addiction recovery. He posts his mental health insights, sober living milestones, and encouragement through Instagram and YouTube. He has also remained sober over the years, often marking anniversaries of his sobriety publicly. Despite living close to his family, Matt stays estranged from his immediate family. Bear confirmed ongoing tensions, stating Matt does his own thing and they don't see him much. At least, he has reconciled financially to an extent, although he is still owed money from show earnings. Matt is unlikely to ever return to the show, unlike the next sibling, Bam Bam Brown, who returned in 2019. Joshua Bam Bam Brown is the next Brown sibling that was known for being quiet and practical. He was highly important to the Browns' self-sufficient lifestyle. After stepping away from the show in 2017 to pursue a relationship with producer Allison Kagan, he returned briefly in 2019 before eventually exiting the series for good. By January 2020, Bam Bam shifted his focus toward eco-friendly innovation. According to insiders, he launched a startup designing sustainable living solutions that blend wilderness expertise with modern technology. Bam Bam faced a serious challenge in 2022 when he was involved in a harrowing freeway accident in Washington state. While driving a GMC, he avoided a collision with a Camaro, which tragically killed its passenger. He survived with only minor injuries. In 2025, Bam Bam honored the memory of his father by completing the audiobook version of his father's memoir, One Wave at a Time. Aside from this, he has been involved in photography projects since 2019, especially in nature and landscape work through social media. He lived aboard a yacht or barge in Charleston with Allison. Although his online presence is sparse, Bam Bam periodically breaks silence, thanking followers and echoing his father's ethos: family, faith, freedom. Although he has a private life, it's still quite purposeful and free from scandals. Much of the insider information that we have of the Alaskan Bush People cast is gotten from Bear Brown, the third child of the Brown family. Bear Brown. Solomon Bear Brown gained a lot of attention on the show for his adventurous spirit and survival skills. He went from a wilderness daredevil to dedicated dad after the show ended, and so he relocated from Alaska to Washington in 2021. He got married to Raven Brown, and they co-parented 3 young sons, River, Cove, and Everest. In June 2023, Bear and his family moved into a rental house alongside his brother Gabe's family in Washington, and he has been saving to buy land so that he can return to Alaska someday. He has also been renovating a school bus into a mobile home and is funding this project through sales of merchandise and comics. Bear also teased 2 spin-off projects which were Alaskan Bush People, Behind the Scenes with Bear Brown, and the next generation of Alaskan Bush People. But none of these have been released yet. His social media activity includes teaser clips of old show footage, narrated reflections, and updates on ranch life and family adventures, reinforcing his move from traditional TV to personal platforms. Since Bear has been one of the most popular Brown siblings, he has had his fair share of scandals. In 2025, Bear and Raven announced their separation, but revealed that it was peaceful, and they would engage in joint parenting with no anger. He also faced a misdemeanor domestic violence arrest, but resolved the case with a plea deal and reconciliation with Raven. Now, Bear is rooted in Washington, co-parenting and working on personal media projects, likely distributed independently rather than through Discovery. He remains focused on property acquisition, family life, and content creation. Though the future of a formal Alaskan Bush People return is unclear, Bear's spin-off efforts and lifestyle updates continue to captivate the Wolfpack community. Next in the siblings is Gabe Brown, who stands out among the siblings for his evolving style, passion, and healing. No longer living with the main Brown homestead, Rain has settled at North Star Ranch in Washington and still documents ranch life. At the same time, she enjoys writing, music, and crafting. Rain has been open about her struggles with depression and grief. She sought professional support post-2021 and often shares empowering messages on Instagram, urging fans to seek help, find inner peace, and recognize the potency of self-love. She started dating chef Josiah Lawton in late 2023, announcing their engagement and then marrying in January 2025. Despite some siblings, like Bear, not attending the wedding, Rain still shared heartfelt posts celebrating their union. On April 11, 2025, Rain and Josiah were arrested in Okanagan, Washington, facing first-degree burglary, malicious mischief, and trespass charges. They were later released on their own recognizance, with plea negotiations ongoing. Rain Brown enjoys working on a ranch, reminding fans of the wilderness challenges of the Alaskan Bush People show. Wilderness challenges. The Browns' off-grid lifestyle earned them the nickname Wolfpack, and they faced Alaska's harsh climate with sub-40 degrees Fahrenheit cold, heavy snow, and howling winds. They deftly built log cabins, lean-tos, snow caves, and insulated homes using local logs, moss, and hides. Living among bears, wolves, and moose requires constant caution. They mastered food storage, animal tracking, and defense tactics, including noise-making and bear-safe practices. What's more, their subsistence depended on traditional methods: rifle and bow hunting, ice and river fishing, and gathering berries, mushrooms, wild greens. They relied on rainwater harvesting, solar panels, and wood-fired stoves demanded ingenuity. They crafted compost toilets, filtered water, and conserved energy to live without grid power. The family honed navigation using compasses, stars, landmarks, fire starting in damp conditions, first aid, tool repair, and improvisation, all of which are skills essential for isolated living. Despite how exciting and stressful the show was, there were still some controversies. One of the major controversies was that of residency and fraud charges. In 2015, Billy Brown and others pleaded guilty to falsifying their residency to collect over $20,000 from Alaska's Permanent Fund dividend. Billy and Joshua served 30 days in jail and were fined. Critics argue this undermines the show's image of true off-grid living. To make things worse, some people reported that the scenes on Alaskan Bush People were faked. Browntown was purportedly constructed by crews, while the family allegedly stayed in local hotels. Some also claimed that they staged wildlife encounters and fabricated emergencies to boost drama. There were also legal disputes over land and filming, with allegations emerging of shooting cabins on public land and possible violations of the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act. There were environmental concerns and local backlash over the production's impact. And of course, we can't forget the family legal battles. In 2025, NOAA reported a welfare concern, alleging Amy and Rain had substance issues. Around the same time, Rain and her husband were arrested for burglary and accused of stealing family assets. Meanwhile, lawsuits tied to Billy's estate compounded the bad press. Aside from the controversies, Alaskan Bush People also faced other challenges and experienced growth over the years: relocation, hiatus, and spin-offs. One of their major milestones was in 2017, when the Browns moved from remote Alaska to Washington state, driven by Amy's need for medical care for lung cancer. It was a major move from extreme wilderness survival to homesteading, ranching, and family dynamics. After season 14 aired in December 2023, no new episode has aired. Discovery hasn't officially cancelled the show, but it's listed as on hiatus, likely paused amid the 2021 death of Billy Brown and a $500,000 lawsuit involving his estate. Bear Brown continues to insist that it isn't cancelled, just on the back burner due to corporate restructuring and ongoing legal complications. In April 2024, Bear announced Alaskan Bush People, Behind the Scenes with Bear Brown, a web-based spin-off offering insider footage and commentary. It was slated for summer 2024, but no episodes have surfaced. Then in March 2025, he teased another project, Next Generation of Alaskan Bush People, featuring his young family and brother Gabe returning to Alaska, produced independently via YouTube. Which is your favorite Brown sibling? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more untold stories. And while you're here, click the next video on your screen. There's more you won't want to miss. Gabriel Brown, like many other siblings, left the Alaskan Bush People show and married Raquel Rose Pantila in 2019. He now lives in Washington with their 2 daughters, including a second-born announced in late 2024. The couple recently moved from their mountain property to a rental home suited for their girls. Blending rugged skill with creativity, Gabe works in construction and homesteading while pursuing artistic endeavors like portrait drawing and music. He recently shared an original acoustic song on Instagram that attracted a lot of praise from fans. Though living off-grid remains part of his life, Gabe has been stepping back from full-time wilderness filming since season 8. He's expressed gratitude to the show's producers in a post hinting that he may have wrapped up his involvement. His style has changed too, as fans have spotted him with eyeliner and sideburns, showing his self-expression beyond the family persona. Earlier in 2025, Gabe underwent surgery, but he reassured fans online that he had recovered. He maintained a positive spirit, sharing gratitude and enthusiasm for returning to homestead work. Gabe has been candid about the mental strain of social media. At one point, he considered quitting platforms after feeling let down by personal connections. Yet fan support encouraged him to continue sharing. Currently, Gabe is focused on his growing family and rooted in Washington, balancing construction, homesteading, and creative projects. He's stepped back from frequent TV appearances but remains active online, sharing personal art, music, and snapshots of life with his daughters. Noah Brown. Noah D.C. Brown got married in 2018 to his wife, Rain, and they have embraced sustainable living by raising livestock and growing food on their Washington homestead. They have a YouTube and social media page and share insights into off-grid life, along with raising their sons, Elijah and Adam. In 2020, the family faced a major hurdle when a wildfire destroyed their mountain property, forcing them to move into a rental home. They are rebuilding slowly while planting roots in their community. But fans were shocked in 2025 when Noah and Rain publicly announced their separation via TikTok. Noah moved into their guest cabin, maintaining weekend visits with their children. They emphasize an amicable approach to raising their children and minimizing the impact on them. Earlier in 2024, Noah and Rain filed a protection order against his sister Rain, alleging threats and substance abuse. Noah lives in his guest cabin near Rain's rental home. He's actively building a new support network, reportedly retained a divorce attorney, and prepared to let Rain keep the main house if needed. Noah recently addressed fans' concerns about his finances and children's well-being, receiving public support and criticism. And then we have Snowbird, the other Brown family member that faced cancer. Snowbird Brown. Snowbird Bird Brown caused fans to be disappointed when she was diagnosed with 2 ovarian tumors during Season 14's 2022 premiere. Emergency surgery successfully removed the tumors, and fortunately, they were not cancerous. But doctors have warned that there's up to an 80% chance of recurrence, which she continues to monitor with regular tests and blood work every few months. After the surgery, recovery wasn't as smooth as Snowbird thought. She faced minor complications like fluid buildup around scar tissue and some cysts, but her recovery allowed her to return to daily routines like chores and caring for her pets. In 2025, Snowbird launched her YouTube channel, Birds of a Feather, selling handmade dream catchers, jewelry, and candles through her Etsy shop, Snowbird Crafts, embracing entrepreneurship and sharing her off-grid lifestyle online. While she has fewer social media posts than siblings, she remains active on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads, especially during TikTok live sessions. She frequently uploads nature photography, wildlife videos, baking moments, and updates on her cats, distinctly identifying as a cat lady and nature lover. Snowbird has a grounded influence within the family, and she helped care for her mother, Amy, during her health crisis. She is also estranged from her oldest brother, Matt. The final member of the Alaskan Bush People cast is Rain Brown. Rain Brown. Rain has emerged as a resilient young adult since the show's end in 2022. Following her father's passing, she took a step back from social media to focus on mental health, later returning with nature-inspired posts and messages encouraging self-compassion